Hey guys, Mike, your host of Craft Beer Storm. It's Friday. How are you doing today? I have to run the New York City Marathon this weekend, and I'm trying to raise money for the American Cancer Society. They got me in, but I have to raise $3,200. We are at 2,100. I got 900 to go. I got the link in the show notes. If you could do me a massive favor, go on, click on the link, give whatever you can. It's an excellent cause. Everybody's been affected by this. It's horrible. And, I'm going to do it. Got 26 miles. Got my salt tablets. I got my Huma gel. I'm going to get some Gatorade and water, and we're going to rock and roll. I'm making a nice pasta dinner beforehand. Night before I get carved up. I got pizza tonight. So we're getting ready to go, and we're doing this for the American Cancer Society. Please just go on the link. You can go on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. There's links all over the place. Just give whatever you can. This is a final push. Seriously, final push is Friday. It's going to be Sunday, so we got to hit that goal, all right? 3,200. Share it with friends. Okay, it is Craft Brew News Day today to go over the drama of Craft Brew News. It's kind of a hard seltzer slant. There's a lot of hard seltzer stories, so I put a lot in. But the first two stories are courtesy of Brewbound at www.brewbound.com. First one is Molson Coors CEO discusses restructuring plans. New hard seltzer launched during Q3 earnings call. So Molson Coors' future direction may become more clear today following the announcement that the company will restructure its operations and slash its workforce. There's a lot of stuff going on in Molson Coors. The $150 million annual savings will be reinvested in marketing to support core brands such as Coors Light and Miller Lite, drive innovation in non-beer products such as Cape Line sparkling cocktails and Arnold Palmer Spiked, and above premium offerings such as Blue Moon and Peroni. The prioritizing of beyond beer products is reflected in the company's new name. Effective 2020, it'll be called the Molson Coors Beverage Company. No more beer. They'll be making beer, but they want to be the beverage company. This move makes Molson Coors the first among the world's largest beer companies to remove beer or brewing from its name. Wow. Among those beyond beer innovations is Vizzy, which is a 5% ABV, 100-calorie hard seltzer infused with superfruits, according to a slide during the earnings presentation. And during Q3, Molson Coors company-wide revenue declined 3.2% to $2.8 billion with a B, while worldwide brand volumes declined 2.4%. I thought they made more than that. So Q3 means third quarter. I don't know if you're not the accounting in you. I take it for granted. But that's third quarter this year, so that's between July 1st and September 30th. So for 2020, which Molson Coors is labeling a transition year, the company is estimating net sales revenue to be flat to down low single digits. So 2020 is not looking bright for Molson Coors. It's supposed to be a transition year. I guess they're getting more into this hard seltzer, which is not a surprise. And then the second story is about hard seltzer too. Truly Hard Seltzer boosts Boston Beer Company to double-digit growth. So it's just this hard seltzer is really doing it for companies. Boston Beer Company reported strong earnings during its third quarter earnings call Tuesday evening. Boston Beer founder Jim Koch said, "We got to get you on, Jim. We got to get on the podcast. I don't know we got to figure this out. I am tremendously proud of the efforts of all of our coworkers in achieving our sixth consecutive quarter of double-digit growth." So they're booming. Hard seltzer continued to drive the lion's share of Boston Beer's growth. Truly Hard Seltzer generated triple-digit volume growth during a quarter which the company launched Truly Draft. announced a new watermelon kiwi flavor, reformulated all Truly flavors, revealed plans to launch Truly Hard Seltzer Lemonade in early 2020, struck a sponsorship deal with the National Hockey League, and released a new Truly television campaign featuring actor Keegan-Michael Key. I don't know who that is, but apparently he's popular. To accommodate Truly's growth, Boston Beer will add a canning line to its production brewery in Brenningsville, Pennsylvania. And the company has significantly increased our available sleek can capacity at third-party breweries. Wow, so you have, man, it's hard seltzers taking over Sam Adams. There you go. Boston Beer Company. Wow, blowing up, but they're seeing a trend and they're just jumping all over it, and it's working for them. So it's a business, right? Next story, courtesy of AP. This is Utah. Last call in Utah is set to tap out on low alcohol beer sales. Now, I have friends in Utah, they call it near beer because it's like 3.2%. It's not really beer, near beer. So Salt Lake City, the first change to beer alcohol limits since the end of Prohibition nearly a century ago is coming to Utah. The state will become the next to the last in the country to say goodbye to lower alcohol 3.2% beer on Friday, when drinkers welcome new, slightly stronger brews into grocery stores, gas stations, and bars. I said this to my friends. I said, you still have the 3.2%. They're like, no, that changed. Like, no, it didn't. It just changed it. I don't know. They don't understand. Lawmakers have raised the limits to still low 4% by weight, yielding as large breweries decided to stop making lower alcohol suds for a market that's shrinking amid changing laws. The change leaves Minnesota as the last state to have 3.2% beer. I didn't realize that, Minnesota. What's happening there? Almost the entire company once had similar limits, said Maureen Ogle, the author of Ambitious Brew, A History of American Beer. It was set by Congress to allow lighter brews to be made before the formal end of Prohibition in 1993. They probably had a lot of flack from people saying, bring beer back. They said, we'll give you this lower alcohol beer. And then they finally did, they ended Prohibition. So, and the last remaining holdout, Minnesota Republican Senator Karen Housley, said she would aggressively pursue legislation to modernize our state's antiquated liquor laws during the next legislative session. So good for you, Karen. We got to get you on the podcast. In Utah, the state's predominant religious faith, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, teaches abstinence from alcohol, and strict liquor laws continue to hold sway. Last year, lawmakers passed the lowest DUI threshold in the country at 0.05%. So like, you drink one beer, you're done. You can't drive. This year, though, big retailers like Walmart and others push for changes so they could keep their stores stocked with national beer brands. The new 4% limit, also measured as 5% by volume, that's a 5% ABV, was a compromise with the influential church, which had opposed going higher. So they got 5%. Say things eke up, and 5% is cool. The makers of national beers like Budweiser are marking the occasion with a new marketing efforts in the state. The iconic Budweiser Clydesdale were in the Salt Lake City this week to mark the occasion with a mock funeral, complete with life-size coffin and costume Grim Reaper pallbearers walking the streets to cheers. So people are happy there. Last story, courtesy of U.S. News and World Report. It talks about spiked seltzer versus beer. Which is healthier? The spiked seltzer is having a moment. First, flavored fizzy waters came popular. Now brands are adding alcohol to the mix. According to Nielsen, hard seltzer sales have increased more than 200% in the past year. They've doubled. Crazy. Much of this growth is thought to be driven by people seeking alternatives beyond malt beverages and beer. Spiked seltzer is sitting in a unique place between beer and traditional mixed drinks. This isn't your standard seltzer or soda water poured into vodka or gin. The alcohol in the spiked seltzer drinks comes from fermented cane sugars, whereas most clear spirits like vodka and gin are grain fermented and as a result have a higher alcohol content. Most of us wouldn't drink several cans of beer and think we were making a health-promoting choice, but many think that sipping spiked seltzer all day is a healthy option. The health halo around spiked seltzer means that you may end up drinking much more than you realize since you believe it to be better for you. At the end of the day, it comes down to which beverage you enjoy more, which you feel like drinking at the moment, and it's important to consider the taste and mental satisfaction as pleasure and enjoyment are important components of a healthy diet. Hallelujah. So this alcohol being generated in these seltzers is like cane sugar. I guess they throw yeast in and interacts with the cane sugar and promotes it produces alcohol rather than alcohol coming from grain. So I don't know. But the last paragraph is great. It's just, hey, it's important to consider the taste and mental satisfaction as pure and enjoyment. Pleasure and enjoyment are important components of a healthy diet, right? You got to be happy with what you're eating. I mean, you can't eat a cake, but you can have a piece of cake, I guess, once in a while, right? Why not? It produces good chemicals, right? Makes you happy. Why not? We have to be happy. And beer makes everybody happy. Beer brings people together. That's why we do this podcast. And then now we got spiked seltzers getting crazy. So that's your craft brew news today. If you like what we're doing, please go on to iTunes, give us a rating and review, give us a 5-star review. That'd be awesome. If you want to comment or send some brewers my way or get Jim Cook on, or if we can get the Minnesota Republican Senator Karen Housley, if somebody knows them, connect us. Love to have them on. Yeah, the world of beer. Never a dull moment. So that's what I have for you today. Have a great weekend. Go out, visit your local brewery. They work hard for you. And we will talk to you on Monday. We have another great interview for you. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.